you have this big blockbuster, Sankranti Kostunam.
Yeah.
And, when it's the typical big movie in Tamil or Telugu or Hindi, and I mentioned these three industries because these are very hero-dominated industries. So, the credit usually goes to the hero and the director, and that's typically where the thing goes. How much should you gain out of, I mean, not out of this particular movie, but when a movie becomes a success, I'm not talking about the Lucky Bhaskar kind of films, but these kind of movies, which are more mainstream and more commercial, does some of the light shine back on you after the success as well, on the heroine?
For me, I think the most important thing is that if the film does well, we all do well.
Yeah.
I mean, because you do have a film in your kitty which you can say was like something that was a huge success, and it has given you the visibility because a lot of people watched it because they enjoyed watching it. Like you said, apart from a film like Lucky Bhaskar, wherein the character does leave an impression even after it's done and the character is there or not there, but it has an important imprint in the film and the character of the film. But with films which are not very character driven, where it's not to do much with that particular character but the storyline, I do feel like if it kind of is convincing, as an actor, if I do my job to convince the people that I fit in that particular storytelling format, I'm actually very okay with that.
Done.
I don't seek some sort of validation or respect that, I should be getting it. If the film is doing well, I'll automatically get good films. And for me, that is the only funda I want. I just want to keep being a part of good films, do films that kind of leave an impression in one way or the other. If it's too commercial, as long as my character has something or the other in a way that can leave an impact or helps in the arc of the story in a way, I'm okay with that. Because not every time every character will have that length, will have that sort of a story that is heavily relying on them.
Yeah.
But that does not mean that the character is completely invalid in that space. It does have its own, but it's limited, and I don't mind playing that because in our own lives also we'll have a lot of people who may not be the main heroes, but they are the very important characters that you need in your life. So I think that's how I kind of perceive every character that I do. There are certain that will be remembered, there are certain that helped kind of take the story in a certain way where you cannot imagine. It had a positive light, it kind of left something in a way when it feels complete, it doesn't feel incomplete in a way. And for me, that's important and enough. I think I just work for that. Now, if the director gets the credit, if the hero gets the credit, if the producer gets the credit, I'm fine with that because I get to be a part of something which is worth giving credit for in the first place.
No, 100%. And full marks to you for a very good answer. but what I'm trying to say is also that, does the light shine back on you in the sense that, so you're like, I think you answered a bit of that. I think you're saying that, listen, I enjoyed playing that part and I got a hit. So ultimately, the industry sees me as a part of my hit list.
Right.
Hit list as in, so that's how it works, right?
For me, I don't really think too much about I should be given a role and people should be raving about it and all of that. I would love to get an important character if it's in a space, and if it's a character where it's a female-driven character, let's just say, or it's like Anagana Kauka Raju is about these two people. It's about Charulata and Raju. In that space, these are the two characters that are driving the story.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I get a role like that, I'm happy with that.
Right.
But does that mean that, if I get a role which is a little less substantial but impactful nonetheless, would I have a problem with that? Not at all.
Yeah.